Wildfires are an increasing risk to communities across the United States. Biochar presents an opportunity to provide benefits across the urban-rural divide, across different communities, and really help revitalize some of these rural economies.
With support from the U.S. Forest Service Wood Innovations Program, communities are turning burned and low-value wood waste into something that helps forests and people alike.
Wood biochar is a whole lot like charcoal. The key difference between charcoal and biochar is what you use it for. So charcoal, you're using it to grill. Biochar, you are using it as a soil amendment for regenerative agriculture, or you're using it as a fertilizer additive, or as a component of concrete, or in stormwater treatment. So you're just using it for things that aren't cooking. The short story of how biochar is made is that you're essentially heating biomass, in most cases wood, to about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It separates into some wood vapors and into some charcoal. So when you make biochar, you don't allow that charcoal piece to burn.
But the biochar used in forestry and agriculture is made in a controlled process, allowing that carbon-rich material to be put to work. Across the West Coast, small teams are already putting this wood innovation to work on the ground, helping forests recover and reducing wildfire risk in real projects.
I started in the wildfire space several years ago. Wildfires were getting bigger and bigger. Biomass was a huge, expensive pain point for us, and I felt like I needed to do something about that. We founded Earth Foundries to address that biomass problem. Earth Foundries was started to end catastrophic wildfire. We do that by upcycling forest materials that otherwise can't be used for timber.
The work happening here in the forest is part of a larger reforestation project going on. Our system processes this wood through a process called pyrolysis, which is heating in the near absence of oxygen and turning the material into biochar. Our solution has a lot of benefits for the local community. For one, rather than pile burning, we're processing in a controlled solution that reduces any emissions dramatically compared to a pile burn. Also, we're creating a valuable product that the local community could use for a variety of applications.
The density of the forest really impacts the intensity of those wildfires. The forest thinning projects really did a lot to help protect the communities that they surrounded. Biochar has a huge potential to help with post-fire recovery, and that's why we're so excited about this project, where we're putting the biochar right back into the forest floor. It's going to help retain water through dry seasons, which this ecosystem experiences frequently, and it'll give those seedlings a fighting chance against the shrubs and the invasives that come in after a wildfire like this.
Efforts like these show how small, mobile systems can turn wildfire debris into something useful. The same material can also be produced at larger scales and used far beyond a single forest.
In the context of forest management, biochar can play a really important role. When a lot of in-woods forest thinning is done, what you're usually doing when you do that in-woods thinning is you're removing the small diameter trees. Small diameter wood just isn't that valuable for a mill to turn into lumber because it's small diameter, it's hard to deal with. So biochar presents an opportunity to do something with that material that's better than just burning it in a pile.
What makes biochar unique is that it stores carbon in a stable material that can also improve soils and support restoration, making it useful in forests, farms, and communities. Small-scale systems matter in the field. At biomass facilities such as Pacific Biochar and West Biofuels, similar ideas are being applied on an industrial scale.
West Biofuels takes residuals from sustainable forest management, and we turn them into renewable energy for the grid and carbon in the form of biochar.
Some people look at bioenergy as a source of energy, and I think, yes, that can be true, but I think in many cases, primarily, it's a waste management strategy. You can take round logs and make rectangular lumber, and that's a pretty well established industry. But when you take round logs and make rectangular lumber, there's a lot left over. There's cuts that don't make the cut. There's logs that aren't quite the right size or shape. And then there's all the sawdust, shavings, bark, and excess stuff that doesn't turn into a nice rectangular piece of lumber.
Thinning and residue removal actually improves forest structure. by making it easier for firefighters and landowners to combat fires by reducing fuel loads that can contribute to catastrophic wildfires.
From this plant, we enable thinning of an extra 3,000 acres a year, and if that can be replicated in other communities, we'll have more forest management, less wildfire risk. We see this as key to part of that community effort to fight wildfire.
This project benefits the community directly with jobs. There's jobs in the biomass that's collected and brought to this facility. There's jobs here at the facility with operating and maintaining, and there's jobs in delivering and applying all the biochar. Then there's the indirect benefits. There's the indirect benefits of wildfire hazard reduction. There's a meaningful impact in this region of reducing wildfire risk, and that's a big deal for the local communities.
Biochar can be part of the solution to helping improve forest management, and also they can be part of the solution for helping improve things like our approach to regenerative agriculture.
I'm a soils guy. Got a degree in soils from Chico State. Soil health matters a lot because nutrient-dense foods are important. Crop health is important. If you can't get nutrients to the plant roots, then the crops are going to suffer. We use biochar. We put it in our compost. It helps with water retention in the compost itself in the initial process. Green waste, when we bring it in, which is our main raw material, it's hydrophobic, so it doesn't like to retain water. So biochar in there helps to pull water into the biochar itself, and then it releases it as the microbes can use it. This ground behind me, when we first started farming, it wouldn't take water at all. It would take 36 hours to sub across a 30-inch bed. After 3 years of doing cover crops, adding compost with biochar, it would sub over in a matter of 3 or 4 hours, when we irrigated. So that was a huge change. In the summertime, we didn't have to irrigate as much, so it saves water, better crops, more profitability is what we're seeing.
From forest to fields, biochar connects restoration, resilience, and practical use.
Everyone outside the forestry world should care about this approach. We need to start really thinking about how we're managing our forests to avoid these catastrophic wildfires. People think wildfire, well, that's just gonna burn down my house or my cabin, and they don't think that that's gonna impact my health long term, or that's going to impact the water system that we rely on every day.
We're out here in this sort of devastated landscape, and it provides an opportunity to do something more valuable with this wood. If we don't turn it into biochar, we're probably just going to burn it, and it's going to create a bunch of smoke and provide no value. So biochar just presents an opportunity to create some value from this waste material.
Our forests need to be managed, and they need to be managed for the productivity of all phases of the environment and for the people themselves as well. So we have wildlife, we have fire prevention, we have building and construction, and through a productive, collaborative effort, I think that we can all make this work satisfying the private and the public sectors.
What excites me the most about where biochar is headed is that we're beginning to reach a scale where the impact can be seen from an airplane. As I started biochar production, real small scale, doing everything by hand, I dreamed that one day the impact could be large enough to maybe even seen by an airplane, where you could look out the window and say, hey, that whole area down there that's slightly greener, we helped do that. When I started working in biochar, there were maybe a dozen research articles, and the word was practically unknown. Now there's more than 30,000 research articles. There are large corporations on the farming side and on the production side and on the biomass waste management side that are showing an interest and getting ready to go. So I think now is the kind of phase where we're moving from an interesting idea to large-scale, real-world actions which have measurable impact at the community level. And I'm really excited to see where that's going.
Biochar is a wood innovation that is changing the way we care for forests and communities. From reducing wildfire risk and restoring land after fire to supporting agriculture and putting wood waste to use, it is making a real difference. This work depends on partnerships across forestry, farming, and land management, and we're grateful to the U.S. Forest Service Wood Innovations Program for helping make it possible.